na hatujaingia ndani ya campus. But maybe next time I will ask for form of position, application maybe to the Vice Chancellor or to the leadership of the university student, ndio nije niwapatie proper lecture on where we are as a country. And probably because I remember I went out after June 25th last year. I was invited to one of the foremost universities in Europe called Uppsala University. This is a university in Sweden which produced the first UN Secretary General. I don't know if you remember Dag Hammarskjöld, who actually died in the DRC, and looks like that struggle continues. So, I want to agree with the President and the Secretary General 100%. I was Minister for Education, and it is then that we started properly and streamline Higher Education Loans Board. Mimi mwenyewe nilisoma na boom. We used to get only 6,000 shillings and it was very helpful. Now Ruto's new funding model is unworkable and he should stop the nonsense, because it now means students from poor families will never access higher education. The right to education is a basic human right under Constitution, Article 43 of our country's Constitution. Therefore, you're not begging anybody. It is your right. And so, I want to agree, and I hope we can all speak with one voice to say, Mr. Ruto, drop like a hot potato this thing you're calling new founding model. It is not workable. Just like this other thing they call Shiv and Shah. It is a continuation of the state capture by a fellow called Andani. You remember I went to court and stopped the nonsense about giving out our critical infrastructure like our international airport. Remember Andani was taking over JKIA. We stopped him on his tracks and Ruto had to cancel that contract. The same Andani was trying to take over our energy sector by taking over the transmission transmission line. Remember, he's also wanted, he's indicted in the United States. So, wale wa international criminals huko ndio wanakaribishwa. So, I want you to know, because the future belongs to you. And there's no doubt about that. So what do you do going forward? Make sure all of you are armed with your voter's card. How many of you have taken out your voter's card? Wow. And how many of you are armed with your national ID? That is the single most important weapon to drive Kasongo home. How many of you are ready to drive Kasongo home? I was in court, the lawyer that was representing the advocate, Tumesikia, wisdom. Now, when we were in court trying to ask the Inspector General, I beg you listen to me, when we were demanding the presence of the Inspector General of Police and the DCI, Mr. Amin, to come to court and produce dead or alive the young students, the young Kenyans who were abducted. When they eventually showed up, of course they were mattered around and the matter continued. But we know the people of Isiolo, for example, day before yesterday, people of Isiolo have come out as champions for democracy. They were able to tell Mr. Ruto right in his live wakamwambia aende nyumbani. Now, do you know what he has done after that? Unajua alikuwa na argue akisema uwezi kushindana na serikali. Now, sikiza, as we speak, over 200 young people in Isiolo have been arrested for exercising again the right of expression under the Constitution, freedom of expression. I have asked and Advocate Njiru and human rights people on the ground in Isiolo tomorrow to make sure they're in court and get all of them released. Because they must, people of Isiolo must exercise their full constitutional right. And that one has mama na wao. And it looks like it will be very difficult for Mr. Ruto. Because that was Isiolo. He was concluding his trip to northern Kenya. And he did it in style by being told to go home. Now people of Embu spoke. And he doesn't even know how to handle his minister for public service. Because people in this country are speaking with one voice. To crown it all, 3 judges of the High Court have issued a classic ruling which is going to guarantee our multi-party democracy. They have said, as of the 9th of August 2022, when Kenyans went to the vote, went to the polls, the coalition that emerged as a majority coalition was Azimio la Umoja wa Kenya. We have asked our members of parliament of Azimio on Tuesday, when the parliament resumes, waende wakae on the side of a majority. Unless, of course, these people obtain stay. I don't see how the judges properly exercising themselves. Remember, I'm senior counsel, right? So I'm giving you my opinion. I don't see having pronounced themselves on the fact of whether this act by Speaker Wetangula was constitutional or not. They found the Speaker acted unconstitutionally. Therefore, it will be very difficult because the same judges will be required to issue stay of execution. Stay of execution means Kasongo na timu yake waendelee majority side. I don't see that being granted. In any event, by Tuesday, we have asked our people to go and take their rightful position. One of them is here. Mheshimiwa Robert Mbui is a deputy, imagine, until yesterday or day before, he was a deputy minority leader in the National Assembly. Now, he is a deputy majority leader. And we have here in the Senate, the deputy minority leader, Senator Wambua. We have there also Mheshimiwa Mawathe, member for Embakasi South. And of course you have Baba Yao there, Mheshimiwa Waititu, our people's person. So we are solid. We are very solid, and we want you to know that Pwani University, of course I went to University of Nairobi. They will tell you the university. But Pwani University, we beg your pardon. Hey, order! 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 Fever! 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 The struggle must continue. Aluta continua. Hebu sikiliza basi. Sikiliza basi. Kwa hivyo, we have also here Madam Shakila Abdallah, where is she? Secretary General wa Wiper. Senator. She's also Senator Shakila Abdallah. So, since I'm just here, all right, since I'm here, and since I don't want to go in there for a cup of tea, yeah, I think I heard what the President said and the Secretary General, and I wish you well. May Pwani University grow to be one of the centers of excellence, not just in the coast region in our country, but in the region and the African continent as a whole. Barikiweni sana na Mungu awabariki sana. Thank you. DJ,